30-yard line. Hamilton keeps it. Touchdown!
And we've got to thank God every minute of every day. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Hamilton. And we're going to bring him up right now because he's already on the screen. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to my main man, Joe Ham. What up, though, Joe?
Get me fired up the same way in the huddle, Stu. I'm with it. I'm all with it. I'm with it. Hey, listen, it normally is not the quarterback's job to do that. Thank you, being a DB. Thank you, being a linebacker or wide receiver, offensive lineman, getting us fired up, Stu. Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah.
But I couldn't wait, and I don't want to waste time. Ryan Evans Stewart, listen, this moment to chop it up with you. I see 12:02 Wednesday. Listen, I couldn't wait, can't wait. I'm ready to rumble. So if I don't do my due diligence, well, I will do my due diligence. I hope the family is well. I'm doing well. Happy New Year to our listeners, everybody, to your listeners, Stu. Thank you. I'm grateful for you, your brother Doug, Tree, everybody, Stu Entertainment, everybody. I'm grateful. However, my brother,
yes,
I am fired up about what we do, this sports talk arena, and we played distance to each other for a simple fact that I had to call you, and I said, hey, hold on now.
I got that on the notes.
Are you going to push this all the way till 12 that we're not going to talk at all?
We spoke last night, and I'll go ahead and put it out there right now.
Go ahead, man. You the host. I'm sorry. You the host, man.
Well, no. It's your show, so we do it when you want to do it. But
I'm fired up, brother.
It's been a minute since we've done this show. Happy New Year.
I'm fired up.
Happy New Year to everybody paying attention. But we spoke briefly last night when the groundbreaking news that we'll cover here shortly broke with Coach Harbaugh and his dismissal from Baltimore. And while we're talking for about just 2 or 3 minutes, not a lot, just 2 or 3 minutes, you introduced something and I said, Joe, stop. And you stopped because you knew what I was going to say. I said, Joe, stop. And you stopped. And I said, let's talk about it tomorrow. I hung the phone up, you hung the phone up, and for the next hour to hour and a half, I picked the phone up to call you 2 or 3 times to talk about something involving that story, and I caught myself. So I had to stop and put the phone down. So yes, I've literally got goosebumps on my arm. I got goosebumps on my arm because we hadn't done this in a while. And there's been so much to talk about from the past week plus 2 weeks. And there's been so much breaking news. And the sports are so hot right now. It's like, I wonder how fish feel when they're hungry and they see a minnow swim past them, but they know it's not a minnow, it's a lure trying to get them to bite it. I know how they feel.
Can you do me a favor, Mr. Evan?
I'm listening, sir.
Ryan Evans Stewart, and guys,
yes,
Evan is his middle name, and
yes.
I respect this guy so much. Our rundown that we talked about and I sent you, I would ask you that kind of be thrown out the window because all our topics, brother, all of my topics and what you want to talk about, knowing you that we have to discuss with our listeners, we're going to run over. So if I run over, the only thing you're going to hold me when I hear music, I'm going to be winding down to the commercials, and I understand all that. But again, Stu, please don't rush me because if I don't finish a thought, because I would say this, I can spend our time together today in the huddle with Joe Ham because we're going to huddle up.
Oh, yeah, we're going to huddle up.
So I can spend all that in the college football playoff. Yeah. I can spend all that with Indiana.
Right.
I can spend all that with Miami.
Harbaugh.
I can spend it all with all. So you as the director and the leader, you direct me, but I can get long-winded with some of these things. But listen, I want to chop it up, and I am also excited brother. I'm excited.
Right before we get into In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I am Ryan Stewart. He is Joe Hamilton. Quick reminder that tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock right here on Stewart Media and Entertainment via YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, however you choose to look at it, we will be having a 2 Live Stews experience, and I'm very excited about that. So y'all make sure you set your clocks, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you're ready for tomorrow morning's 2 Live Stews experience that starts at 7 o'clock. And if you've got the time to join us in the morning for our show prep, we show you how we make the sausage for the show at 7 o'clock. We start at 6:30. We do a pre-show programming meeting for everyone that has the time to come and join us to see what we're going to talk about, how we're going to talk about, how we're going to introduce topics, how we're going to get thoughts from Tree, from me, from Doug. We do all that. So quick reminder for 2 Live Stews experience tomorrow morning at 7. Before we get into In the Huddle with Joe Ham, 2 things I want to mention. The first thing is, and you don't even know what I'm about to say because I didn't share this with you prior to us coming on. When we start the show every Wednesday, when we start In the Huddle with Joe Ham, I've got to click on the top right side of the screen. It's a little button that says Start Stream. I've got to click that so the listeners can now see what we're doing on our side. Prior to me hitting click stream or start stream, you and I are on this platform by ourselves.
Okay.
So for the listeners and the viewers to join us on this platform, I've got to hit start stream. Like right now, because the stream has started, I would have to click end stream to end the stream or end the show or podcast. Okay? Now here's where I'm trying to get to. Every single Wednesday when I hit start stream, right after hitting start stream, I hit In the Huddle with Joe Ham's show intro. And every time I hit that button, I click the button and you hear dun, 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 dun. Every single time we hear that sound, dun, 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 you give me a Chessy Cat smile just like that. And you do a little shimmy or a little wiggle like you're dancing or you're getting yourself ready. And that fuels my boat. That gets me so fired up you never understand because it's elation. It's excitement. You're very excited.
Yeah.
You like that little clip that we showed prior to the show?
I love it.
I just wanted to tell you that I hope you understand that I too share those same feelings with you prior to every single show. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. In the Huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. Second thing before we get into the show. Today, my wife just dropped my son off at the Barber's driving school, where he will take his last 3-hour lesson prior to going to take his road test to get his permanent driver's license. You've already done this with Skylar, and that's why I wanted to talk with you. Your son Skylar is a senior in high school, so you did this a few years ago. Can you talk to me real briefly and quickly about the anxiety that you dealt with when it came to your son taking that driver's test? And once he passes it, because I'm sure Miles will, once he passes it, he will be able to be on the highways and byways by himself. Before we get into the show and before we get into these incredible topics, can you please talk to me about the anxiety you dealt with that and how I should feel about this thing, please?
Yeah, and you can relate. Very simple, and it's very organic. 101, Stu, trust what you've instilled in him, and I know for a fact that you've been in it with him every driving test. Make that right. Make sure you come to a complete stop. Watch out, hands on the steering wheels. And then all we can do at that point, Stu, is trust.
Right.
And I tell you, the ultimate trust is when you allow him, without you and Miss JP, and shout out to Mrs. Stewart. Yep. She's a rock solid.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
Yes. Hey, so what y'all have instilled, trust it. That's it. And so the anxiety, so we're gonna worry, and I don't want to get where I will get biblical. Hey, cast all cares on worries on the Lord, because again, Stu, because you've done your duty.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you gotta let him fly, because I thought about that with one of my brother. He's a really good friend of the family, and his son is going to Georgia. He decommitted from Clemson, and now he's going to Georgia. Blake Stewart.
I'm happy for him. I hate Georgia. I hate Georgia.
Yeah,
I'm very happy. I'm very happy that he decommitted from that other place, Clemson and Dabo, and he's going. I'm elated about that news for Blake. I'm elated.
And that's fun. And that's funny, Stu, because I talked about that with Skylar, my son, who's an all-world quarterback, and I love him to death. And he says, and I said, hey, how are you going to root for the Bulldogs and Blake Stewart that it's going to change? And he said, I want Blake to have 3 interceptions and Georgia Tech wins. I said, yes!
You raised that boy right. That boy right.
So it's all about relationships. But Stu, when it comes down to it, just trusting that, because you're going to have the anxiety, and you don't want to be, in my opinion, calling every single time. Where are you? Are you okay? Because our wives are going to do that. We don't want to double down.
Yep.
In a long-winded story, that's my advice. Don't double down on being too overbearing, because our wives will take care of that, in my opinion. Or in my experience, not opinion.
We're about to jump into In the Huddle with Johan, but I'm going to respond to Joe's comments about my son getting his license first. The last 2 or 3 weeks, I'm almost positive that God is like, if you get on your knees one more time and pray to me about that boy driving by himself, Ryan Stewart, if you better not do it no more. And I know he's not saying that. I know he welcomes my prayers and wants me to come and bow down to him and bring all my cares and concerns to him. I know he wants that, Joe. But, man, it has been on my mind so heavy, because today he takes the 3-hour driving course for the last time. He's had a couple of them at the Barber's Driving School already.
3-hour driving course? What?
3-hour course. 3-hour course.
What are we talking about here? Listen,
after that 3-hour
that's
course, after that 3-hour course, he goes to the school and takes the test, the road test. So after he passes, I've already decided I'm going to get in the passenger seat of the little car we got him for Christmas. I'm going to get in the passenger seat. I'm going to tell him to drive to the house. And when he gets to the house, I'm going to get out and I'm going to say, now go. I'm giving you 1 hour to do whatever you want to do. Now go. And
I don't like this, Stu.
You don't like that? Share to me. Yes.
Please.
That's why I'm bringing it to you. Share your thoughts.
Scripted. It shouldn't be scripted. That's all. That's it. In my opinion, humble opinion, and I love you, and I can't scripted. The fact that you scripted, now go. He might not have something to do that I can go right away. Deeper. So the fact that it's scripted, I don't quite agree.
Let me dig a little deeper. Every Wednesday at 4:30, he has drum lessons and bass lessons.
Okay.
So that's where he will be going to. So I said that incorrectly. He does have some place to go. He knows where he needs to be.
Oh, okay.
So when
go without me.
Right.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Don't just go and drive. But your schedule that has been your schedule for the last 5 years on Wednesday at 4:30. Okay, son. Now it's 3:45. Go do you without me for the first time. Now, Joe, please share.
Without being any judgmental or not, and are you taking on the role of, I'm hearing, of a protective mother, or a protective I wouldn't say wife, but a protective mother or a son? Because that's abnormal to what I'm hearing from you as we do it. Some of our boys, or not even our boys, me have done it. I'm a little bit more lenient, because the hard hand is coming from, or not the hard hand, the questions and stop and make sure, or the passenger seat driver is coming from my wife and not me. and I balance it off. But it seems like you are the guy that's a little shaky. Well, but you know, it's all good though. It's all good.
It is all good.
The safer the better. But I don't want him being like, hey man, or is this dad calling again?
Well, no, we got Life 360 on all the phones for that purpose. It'll show me how fast he's driving. It'll show me hard stops.
Do you check it? Do you check it like that? Or will you check it? Not do you. Will you check it like my wife checks?
If he is driving. If he is driving and he is not home with us, the Life 360 app will be open and I will be watching. At least for the first month or two.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be hovering. I'm gonna be a helicopter dad, which is what you're trying to call me.
No, my only point is that you will be hovering along with Mrs. Stewart, or you know.
Well, she won't be able to because she'll still be at work.
Also, yeah, okay,
she won't be able to. Yeah. But I will be hovering because this thing has been on my mind heavy.
It's real, man. It's real.
As a matter of fact, Joe,
cast all your cares on the Lord, man.
Can we bow our heads real quick and say another prayer real quick?
Please.
Real quick.
Yes.
Heavenly Father, we're bowing our heads to say thank you for blessing Miles for the opportunity to get his license today. And Lord, when he gets that license, as I'm sure it will be in your will for him to do so, when he gets that license, we're praying for you to cover him with your protection, your grace, and your mercy while he travels these highways. It's in you that I trust. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm going to leave it right there, Joe.
Yes,
I'm going to leave it right there. This is In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. I'm One Live Stu Ryan Stewart. We're elated to be with you today. We've got a lot of amazing topics, and I do want to say this. Please bear with us because we're going to start with Harbaugh and our thoughts about Harbaugh, but after that, we may go back 3 weeks. We may go back a month. Bear with us and enjoy what we try to do for y'all today on In the Huddle with Joe Ham. We've never had this long of a break intentionally, and there's some very hot topics that we're all very passionate about sharing our thoughts that did not take place yesterday, last weekend, or the week prior to that. Some of it took place weeks ago, and we're going to have to get into it. So thank y'all for being here. Like and subscribe to the show, and let's get this party started. I called you yesterday after a buddy texted me, Joseph Hamilton, and I said, thinking that you would know already, the Ravens fire Harbaugh, and you say, what are you talking about? I said, no, Joe, this is breaking news. The Baltimore Ravens just fired their head coach of 18 years with only 3 losing seasons, who won a Super Bowl 2012, I believe. He's been a part of another Super Bowl. They just told Harbaugh to kick rocks. Joe, start where you want to start, but this is where we're starting today's show, In the Huddle with Joe Ham. Harbaugh is now gone and unemployed when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens. Please share your thoughts.
It's the only way to start, Stu. It's the only way to start, and I have no answers. We're going to chop it up, and we're going to, digest this thing, and I'm going to try to swallow it. I have no answers. I'm stunned, and I'm in a disagreement. I don't like the move, and I don't like the move at all. Why? Where did it come from? And so as I digest into this thing and I delve into this thing, I'm going to ask you some questions that I'm also asking myself, Stu. I do not know at all. I'm stunned. John Harbaugh and why? Immediately I go and think about what is his relationship with Lamar Jackson? Is it cool? And this is my conclusion, Stu. Yes. Why? Lamar Jackson in the public, John Harbaugh in the public, they don't talk and disdain about each other. I've never heard a word that they dislike each other. It can be innuendos, yes, if you be on that side of things. Lamar Jackson, his mom is his agent. He's not public. He's not public. So whatever you're going to tell me that Lamar says and Lamar feels, hogwash. because Lamar lets his feelings known. So it goes back to, why would this be a firing? The only way I can think about, Stu, is that Steve Bisciotti, the owner of the Baltimore Ravens, Eric DeCosta, I think, is the GM of the Baltimore Ravens. They said prior to the season that this season is Super Bowl win or bust.
Correct.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all I have for you, Stu, and why this move will be made. Because again, where are you going? Is somebody in the woodworks? Todd Monken, and Todd Monken is the offensive coordinator that did, very good things for Lamar Jackson in his career. MVP, came over from Georgia. I love it. Is he the new head coach? Or where are you going? Does Lamar say that he needs to have somebody different at the helm? And I would say this, Stu, before I get your opinion, because I don't know. I don't know. That's what I can't wait.
We refused to talk about it yesterday for this very reason right here, to be able to share our thoughts for the first time on today's program. Please continue, Joe.
Yes, and so I look at it as Lamar Jackson can't complain about an offense. He can't complain about a defense or something like that in terms of a head coach, why I need him fired. Because the head coach in this term is John Harbaugh, and he's a no coach. He's a CEO. Yep. So if you want some different offensive philosophies, a different offensive attack or mindset, it's not the head coach.
Yep.
You got to tell the head coach, I want a different offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
If it's a defense, then you do that. Your head coach doesn't have his hand implemented in anything.
I love it.
So why would Lamar Jackson call for Harbaugh's head? So it makes me think. So what's the underlying?
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Continue. Thank you for saying that.
So it brings me to what's the underlying deal. And Stu, I'm so confused as if and I disagree with Baltimore. And if Ozzie Newsome was attached, him included as an advisor, Eric DeCosta, and all the way up to Steve Bisciotti, the owner, what are you doing? This man can't have an 8-9 missed field goal away from winning the division and going into the playoffs one season after being relevant for a long time. And I understand the playoff wins. And that's why I preface it with this, Stu, and I leave it with this. The only reason I can understand is that if upper management said that it's Super Bowl or bust, and we're going to get rid of Harbaugh.
Okay. Joe, thank you for that. And before we go tit for tat and go back and forth and throw some things, I'm hoping, because we got so much good stuff on this rundown.
Don't worry about the rundown now.
That's what I have to. I have to.
As a leader and as a experienced guy, man, this might take us the whole hour. I don't know.
This is going to take
only be respectful of the breaks.
Okay. This is going to take some time, which we've already overran the first break. Okay. We've already overran the first break.
I didn't hear the music.
The other day when we spoke, you mentioned someone's book to me. Whose book did you mention to me?
Tony Dungy.
What book were you referencing? You don't have to say the name, but just tell me the basis of the book so the listeners that are listening would know what we're talking about.
Well, if you decided on January 1st that you wanted to have a year-round fellowship with Tony Dungy in an athlete's mind perspective, in a leader's perspective, you can carry it all the way until December or January or December 31st of 26, and he leads us, and he's got nuggets beyond. And I'm thankful. And you delivered that book to me. Thank you.
I'm mad I can't think of the name of the book, but I'll pull it up. As a matter of fact, let me do that real quick. You got yours back there, Joe? Okay, that'd be good.
If I disappear, I can get it.
No, don't disappear. Don't disappear. Okay. And y'all please bear with us. This will be good. I promise this will be good. What's the name?
Well, you don't have to do that. I know right quick.
Nope. I'm done. He could be back before I get it. Okay. All right. I hope I get to it first.
Uncommon.
Okay. Go ahead, Joe. Uncommon.
Again, this is leading us down a path that I love going. Tony Dungy meant so much to me, and he means so much to me now He's a mentor for me, drafted me with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm so grateful for him.
Yep.
There are a few people I can talk about in words, and then you can never imagine what I'm talking about. He's one of them. But you're talking about uncommon life, daily challenge from Tony Dungy.
Yep.
And you gave me this book, and it will carry you 365 days of the year on any date you want to pick up. You can you can look at it. This is the book, and it's real. And what you're talking about is another book too that he wrote, but that's
Quite
real
Straight.
As well.
Right.
Yes, quite straight. Yes.
Let's stay on uncommon right now.
Yes.
The mentor, the leader, the soul of the team, Quiet Strength, Devotional is a book that I read. It was gifted to me. And 1 month in, I said, I've got to share this with my friends. And because I like Tony Dungy and I believe in the man / Christian / coach that he is, I bought like 10 copies and gifted them to several friends. And I sent you a copy first and foremost because you and I talk about the Lord a lot. We talk about our Christian walk a lot. And the first time I read the book, I'm like, Joe has to have this book. I say all that to say this. You mentioned Tony Dungy to me last week. Earlier today, I see a message about this John Harbaugh situation in the Ravens, and it's from Tony Dungy. I'm going to read this message to you. Whoa. It's from Tony Dungy. On yesterday, Tony Dungy put out this post. I can't believe what things have come to in the NFL. John Harbaugh has coached the Baltimore Ravens for 18 years. He took them to the playoff 12 times. He won a Super Bowl for them. The last 4 years, they were 10-7, 13-4, 12-5, 8-9. They made the playoffs 3 straight years and missed this year because their kicker missed the game-winning field goal on the last play of the 2024-25 season. And he was fired? ? I'm sorry, but I don't understand. Good luck, Baltimore, in finding a better coach. That's where I want to start with you. Do you agree with what the Baltimore Ravens have done?
No.
In firing John Harbaugh?
No. I have no reason for why they would have fired John Harbaugh. And Stu, whether you agree or disagree, I don't care. This is the whole sentiment. Lamar Jackson's future, financial or philosophy-wise, that's what it's all about. And I'm emphatic in saying that because what we're doing now, we're casting our opinions, right? And you're asking me for my opinions. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Bottom line, it's because that upper management is saying Harbaugh wants a direction. I don't know what that direction is. I don't know. I thought it was a good marriage. Or Lamar Jackson wants a direction that I thought it was a good marriage. But all of a sudden they hit me with this brick, a ton of bricks. It's not a good marriage.
Right.
So when you look at it, where are you going for Lamar Jackson? How do you satisfy that? Because I'm not overstepping my bells when I ask this question. The certification is for Lamar Jackson. The next head coach can't be some up-and-coming guy. Says this has got to be a guy that's going to take who to the next level. What do you want? And I would put this to you. This is not an unstable franchise.
Right. Or organization. Right.
Organization, yes.
Right.
So,
okay. Yeah.
So when you look at it, the owner and the GM knows exactly why they got rid of Harbaugh, but internally, Lamar Jackson has to know. Okay. Lamar Jackson has to know about, and that's another question. Well, you didn't involve Lamar Jackson, I don't think, directly.
Nope.
Indirectly, you might have heard some things about how he feels. Directly, I don't think you involved Lamar Jackson in the decision to get rid of John Harbaugh. But
we will never know what, when, or why this took place. There's only one reason it makes any sense to me.
Yes.
And it's your boy, Ryan Stewart.
Me too.
This is In the Huddle with Joe Ham. Every Wednesday at noon. If not at noon on Wednesdays, at 8 o'clock p.m. on Wednesdays. There's only one thing that makes this make sense to me. And that's if, and we'll never know if this is true or not, Lamar Jackson had to go to Biscotti and say, yo, I want a new coach.
You say,
the only way this makes any sense, because Lamar's got 1 or 2 more years on his deal. Lamar is up to be renegotiated. Lamar is in the process of having a cap hit that's going to be $65, $70 million to the team. They got to rework his deal. The only way this makes sense to me is if Lamar is the man that went to ownership and said, I'm done with John Harbaugh. Y'all make a decision. It's either him or me this year.
Yeah.
And this happens all the time in the National Football League.
Yeah. You know, Stu, that's amazing. And I love your point. I would just add to the tone. It could be in a tone to where he wasn't demanding, but he was iffy. You know what I mean? What do you mean?
No, I disagree.
What are you talking about?
Well, we'll never know, but
no.
If this is what took place, Lamar didn't go to them and say, hey, I want y'all's thoughts on John continuing to be on the roster.
Okay.
No. If this is indeed what happened, Lamar had a 30-second meeting with the owner. I scaled you.
Why are you putting that limitations on that discussion? Because the reason why I say that to you, Stu,
let's get into it.
Yeah, why are you putting that discussion that it can't be cordial, that it can't be that Lamar had some, like, do you think guys think that this is where we going? And they ask him, is a back and forth. And at the end of the day, an owner said that
this isn't a cordial situation. If you go put your penis on the table, you gotta put it on the table, all of it. Hey, I called this meeting. If it hadn't been cordial, y'all need to know. I called this meeting because y'all need to know it's either him or me moving forward.
So you falling into my. Not falling into, but you egoing my narrative that it had to be Super Bowl or bust for Lamar to even do that. So when I said that, why that would occur, I'm asking you, Stu, if Lamar's going to go in there, guns a-blazing, and busting the door down and say, I need a new change, that means that we had to get to the playoffs, move to get the AFC Championship, because otherwise it seemed like it was cordial, Stu. It seemed that the relationship was cordial until it hit us abruptly. This hit all of us abruptly. I asked you right before you say that. I'll ask you while you answer that. Do you think, in Lamar's perspective, in the ownership perspective, and John Harbaugh's perspective, that this was abrupt and they didn't see this coming? Go ahead.
Right around a week ago, and this is In the Huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Life student Ryan Stewart. A little over a week ago, maybe 2 weeks, we started hearing that Lamar hadn't been practicing. Yeah. We started hearing how injured he was. We started hearing that he sleeps in meetings.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, I'm not saying that those things that we were hearing is true, but where there's smoke, there's fire, and these things don't come out of nowhere. These things come from inside of your organization to get outside. So after an 18-year relationship where you've won a title and played for multiple Super Bowls, after a season where at the beginning of the year, everyone prognosticated that you and your team was going to win the Super Bowl. So now, out of nowhere, 2 weeks after hearing that Lamar sleeps in meetings, you fired the head coach. And prior to being fired, the head coach, when doing a press conference about Lamar being injured, Lamar not practicing, and Lamar sleeping in meeting rooms, John Harbaugh did not put his penis on the table. He said, Lamar's all in. He's always all in. I don't know about him sleeping in no meetings. That's a goddamn lie. And if you are going to have a press conference as the head coach and the man that's running this franchise, and you're going to say, nah, I don't think that stuff is true, we all know you know if it's true or not. And you're either going to stand on business or you're going to say, y'all stop the bullshit with my quarterback.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. Now, back to what I said earlier. If Lamar goes to management and says, I want to talk to y'all for a minute, they set the meeting, he goes in the office, it's not going to be a long meeting because Lamar's making $50 million a year, $60 million a year. Lamar is still young. He hadn't been around 10 years yet. He's got another 7 to 10 years to play football. Mm-hmm. He ain't going in there with no soft conversation. He's going in there to tell them what he wants.
Yeah.
It's been X amount of years. It's been X amount of years. And here's what I came to talk to y'all about. My contract's coming up. We need to renegotiate it. It's got to be me or him.
No. That didn't occur. Stu, I will say this. Remember, I'm going back to the fact that we don't know, and we just assuming. We don't know, right?
We do not know. You're exactly right. We do not know.
we do not know. Lamar Jackson can't stand boldly and bust the door down talking about anybody.
Yes, he can.
No, he can't. No, he
yes,
can't.
He can.
No. Okay, he can to you and I. He can to the rest of the NFL, but he cannot do that. Hold on, he cannot do that with the Baltimore Ravens organization. Why? Specifically when it comes to Harbaugh or me. Why? Because man, I've got more turnovers than touchdowns. It doesn't matter when we're getting over the hump. Listen, it doesn't matter when we're talking about either Harbaugh needs to go or I have to go or something's happening. Why? Because I'm Steve Bisciotti, the owner. I'm the GM, Eric DeCosta. I'm saying that it's got to be X's and O's on the football field. I've got you, Eric. I got you, Flowers. I've got you, Derrick Henry. I've got you some weapons around you, and all of a sudden, look at your stats. How did you perform in those big games? So you can't come to me and say to me, Harbaugh got to go or I got to go, like Harbaugh's been pulling his weight. And hold on, Stu, and that Lamar Jackson, have been pulling my weight. And it's all about the playoffs. And Lamar Jackson has not been pulling his weight in the playoffs.
Okay. Every NFL team you've played for, and there's been 2 teams.
So we can't talk about these franchises like this. Go ahead. Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead.
Every NFL team you've played for, that's the Buccaneers, and that's the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes, sir.
There's 1 to 2 players on every team that eats up the bulk of the cap. At the end of the day, I need everybody that's listening to me and Joe's voice right now to understand this. There is a salary cap. Every roster has 53 men on the roster, and there's 7 practice squad guys on each roster as well. When it comes to those 53 men that's on every NFL team's roster, there's 5 to 8 players that make up the entire salary cap. Everybody else is year-to-year deals, year-to-year players, free agents. There's supplemental players to the 4 to 8 guys that make up the entire salary cap. Do you agree?
I absolutely agree. Yes, sir.
My next question is this. Very direct question for you. When you were in Tampa Bay, who was the one player that had the coach's ear? Who was the one player that everybody said is his team? Who was he? I know if you don't know.
I don't know.
Derek Brooks. In Indianapolis.
Yeah, I would say.
In Indianapolis.
Well, we know
there was one player who had the coach's thoughts, who had who the coach would talk to about the team. One-on-one. In Indianapolis, who was that one player?
Peyton Manning.
In Detroit, who was that one player?
Barry Sanders.
In Baltimore, who's the one player?
Lamar Jackson.
Okay. He don't have to go in there asking ownership no questions. It's his team.
Right.
Sir, when training camp was getting hot and heavy and guys were starting to have skirmishes and fight in 2 or 3 times in one practice, Wayne Fonts would do this. Hey, guys, I think you guys need a break. Hey, Ryan, come here real quick. I want to get your thoughts. He never said that. Hey, Scott Mitchell, come here real quick. I want to get your thoughts. He never said that. You know what he said? Tell me what he said, Joe. Come on.
Barry Sanders, come here.
Hey, Barry, come here.
Yeah.
You're making my point.
I'm not making your point. Check this out. Hold on. I'm going to listen.
Hey, Barry, come here. I think the guys are tired, Barry. What do you think? Coach, I agree. Hey, Barry, I got an idea. What do you think about me? What do you think about me asking Jason Hanson to kick a 50-yard field goal? Barry, if he makes it, everybody's done for the day. If he doesn't make it, we get back in our groups and we continue practice. Barry, what do you think about that? Or Barry, do you have any other ideas? Coach, I like the field goal idea. Hey, Hanson, get us off this field. That's Lamar Jackson. So when he goes to ownership, or when he goes to the general manager, or when he calls Ozzie Newsome and says, I want to have an off-the-record conversation, he's not coming in there saying, hey, what do you think? He's coming in there saying, my contract's almost up. Y'all got some decisions to make. It's going to be me or it's going to be him.
Why? Why's it got to be him? Stu, to your point, I'll let you finish.
Why has it got to be him? Why has it got to be him? Because he didn't have his back. He didn't have his back when everybody said Lamar's sleeping in meetings.
Yeah, we can. He didn't have his back, but Stu, let me ask you a question because
I'm listening.
Could he have had his back in the terms that he hadn't heard about that? Listen, could he have had his back in the terms of every coach told him that Lamar is sleeping in meetings? Lamar is not doing those things. And Harbaugh, because he's protecting Lamar Jackson, says that, hey, I don't know about it. Can he be having his back? And I say this to you, Stu, and hear me and hear me good. I want this to hone in your soul.
I'm listening, Joe.
As a quarterback, and everything you said is right. But when I have some internal things that I know, when I want that head coach gone or that head coach philosophy or why we didn't get over the hump, it's in question, I have to self-check.
Yep.
So when Lamar goes into DeCosta and Steve Buscemi and Ozzie Newsome, and he said, and Ozzie Newsome, and I'll bring up Ozzie Newsome because Ozzie Newsome has been in the fight. Yes. He's been in the war. And Ozzie Newsome says, hey, Lamar, hey, what about your calling? I mean, have you done your deal with winning the playoff game as far as helping us get over this hump? That's why I'm saying to your rebuttal that he can't bust down the door and say, make these changes. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
How many first-team reps did anybody get in Indianapolis while Peyton Manning was the starting quarterback? How many first-team reps did any other quarterback get?
Zero.
Is that normal? Is that natural? Why did nobody else get first-team reps at quarterback in Indianapolis? Tell me why, Joe. Why did no other quarterback take first-team reps? Typically, the starter gets 8 reps, backup gets 2. Typically, the starter gets 5, 6 reps, the backup gets 2. Why did nobody else get reps in Indianapolis, Joe? Please share that with everybody.
Well, because you were dealing with a Hall of Famer fanatic in Peyton Manning that was always having a chip on his shoulder that said somebody's not going to take my job and I'm not going to allow him the ability or the chance to get a rep ahead of me. And
so now you're telling me that Peyton Manning made the decision that no other quarterback gets starting reps. But Lamar can't go and talk to ownership and say, I want that man gone. There's one player on every team that eats up the bulk of the cap more times than not. It's the quarterback. There's been a running back here or there. There's been a defensive end here or there. But there's one player that can truly speak his mind. Peyton spoke his mind to Tony Dungy in management Nobody else gets starting reps but me. You telling me Lamar ain't got the power or the juice to go say it's him or me?
And I would propose this question on the break and just think through this through your mind.
Okay, all right.
Why would Lamar Jackson want rid of John Harbaugh?
Okay. Why? Let me write this down. Why would Lamar
Specifically John Harbaugh
want Lamar gone?
No. Why would Lamar want Harbaugh gone?
Why would Lamar want Harbaugh gone?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's
where we'll pick this conversation up after we pay these bills. It's in the huddle with your boy, One Live Stu Ryan Stewart, and your man, the Heisman runner-up himself, Joe Hamilton. After we pay these bills, which will be 1 minute or less, it'll be very brief. When I return, I will answer Joe's question about why would Lamar Jackson want John Harbaugh gone. It's in the huddle with Joe Ham. I'm your boy, One Live Stu Ryan Stewart. We thank y'all for being here. Y'all please keep it locked. We'll be right back. Listen, I played in the NFL. I've taken enough shots to last a lifetime. And let me tell you this, taking a shot just to lose weight, that's not a smart play. That's why I roll with Brain IQ, the all-natural weight chews, cut cravings, boost metabolism, and sharpen focus. No needles, no chemicals, no crash. Just results you can chew on. And Brain IQ is not just about weight chews. They've got a full lineup of all-natural products to keep your mind sharp, your body fueled, and your health on point. Skip the needles, choose natural. Order now. BrainIQHealth.com/REF/1LiveStew. Brain IQ Chews. Smart, natural, built for results. In order with your boy, Joe Ham. I'm Ryan Stewart, One Live Stew. Quick reminder that tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, Doug and I will be doing a show. It's called the Two Live Stews Experience right here on Stewart Media and Entertainment, where we bring you entertainment and we bring you sports topic and we talk lifestyle and we have a whole bunch of fun. But that's for tomorrow.
And I'm having fun.
Today is in the huddle with Joe Ham. I'm One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. Before we went into the break, the question was posed to me, why would Lamar want John Harbaugh gone? Before I answer that question, let me say this. My wife and I get dressed in the same house, in the same room. We use the same bathroom. Our bathroom is here. Our toilet area is here, shower area across from the toilet, and then there's another door, and behind that door, there's a closet where our clothes are. If I'm ever sitting on the toilet, reading, texting, or handling my business, my wife will say, how much longer are you going to be in there? If I'm not handling my business, if I'm just texting or reading something, I'll be like, hey, babe, real quick, you can come on through. Ain't nothing going on in here. Mm-hmm. But if I am handling my business, I'll say to her through the door, hey, babe, you can come on through. My doo-doo don't stink. Mm-hmm.
We've all said that.
But we all know that's not true.
That's right.
If there's doo-doo in the bowl, there's a smell coming off of it, and it's not sweet, it stink. Your question, why would Lamar want Harbaugh gone?
Yes.
Because in his eyes, his doo-doo don't stink. The common denominator to them taking these losses in the postseason ain't coming down to him or his deficiencies. It's coming down to upper management. It's coming down to the coach. It's coming down to the plays that's being called. That's why after a period of years where you have not been successful, but you've won 2 league MVPs, it ain't me. We need different leadership.
I don't like it. That's what I'm telling you. I don't like Lamar's Jackson stance at all, unless I hear. And Stu, again, and so much respect to you because everything you've said, You guessing?
Yep. No
Right.
question.
Because we
No
started off the
question.
show. Exactly.
That's why we started off the show, but we'll never really know what happened. However, here we go.
But I'm still guessing.
Yeah.
I don't like your guess, though. I don't like your guess. So I don't like your guess because Lamar Jackson, it's got to be some form of this, man. Okay, and even if he doesn't like the philosophy, and my point I'm trying to reiterate to you, Stu, what can he point? Harbaugh does this that I don't like. That doesn't happen with superstars. Superstars in the NFL goes to why the philosophy, the players you brought in, the concepts, the game plan. Harbaugh doesn't have an immediate effect on that. That's Todd Monken first. Let me tell you this. Okay, this just hit me. Okay, could it be this, dude? Could it be that John Harbaugh is so loyal that he didn't want to make changes?
No question.
Because Lamar Jackson wanted some changes made on the offensive staff.
Yes.
He didn't like the way the offense was going. Or maybe he didn't even like the way you put this whole piece of pie together. The ingredients. So he obviously that Lamar Jackson won because Harbaugh is gone. But I just thought about this.
If this is the case, if our thoughts are correct with that, yes, he won. But please continue.
Yes, John Harbaugh, could he be so stubborn to say that, because in my history, that a coach on the hot seat, you fire a coordinator or you fire an assistant, you do some cleaning house before the can I curse? No, Mom, I'm not curse. I'm not going to curse. Before the shoot hit the fan.
Right.
And so he didn't do any of that. Could Eric DeCosta, an upper manager, say to Harbaugh, changes needed to be made because we're not satisfied with not making the playoffs, and if you do not make a change, I got to let you go. You know what, Stu? You've talked me into it. I have my answer. Yeah. I think, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, that's what I'm going to go with, Stu, that Harbaugh needed to fire some people. Harbaugh needed to rearrange some things. It couldn't go as status quo. We did not win the division. We did not make it to the playoffs. With what you said earlier, everybody projected us to win the Super Bowl, or go to it. We did not succeed. Something has to change, Harbaugh. You can't run it back. And John Harbaugh was trying to run it back, and I think they say no, you can't run it back because I don't think it's any rift. And I might be wrong, Stu. I don't think it's any rift at all between John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson.
Okay. And Joe, you might be right. It's in the huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I probably shouldn't project what I'm projecting about the possible relationship or lack thereof between John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson.
But we don't know. I don't know. I mean,
we don't know. So this conjecture is just what we're forced to do.
Right.
I do know this to be a fact, and I'm glad you said that. I wrote down Todd Monken the minute you mentioned him. I've heard for years that there was discord between offensive coordinator and head coach, offensive coordinator and quarterback. That being Todd Monken and that being John Harbaugh. And if management, Steve Biscotti and Eric DeCosta, if they want Todd Monken gone, if they want to switch it up and do something different, but John Harbaugh is so loyal to the point where he's like, I don't want him gone.
I can see that, yeah.
That could be it.
I can see that too.
Now we're fact finding and trying to figure things out. However,
because I don't understand this, Stu. Are you in agreement with? I don't understand this move to fire, or do you think that it was time at Harbaugh? Because let's take some other facts, Stu, just for the outsiders that may say that listening to us that only 3 wins in the playoffs in 8 years with Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Where is this organization headed? We have to have a change. Yep. So, and the Baltimore Ravens fans and faithfuls, they might feel like, hey, get him out of there. So we can.
Here we go. Joe, I am a fan of institutional solidarity.
Goodness, those are huge words, you Georgia Yellow Jacket.
I am a fan of consistency within your organization. A buddy called me last night and was talking to me about the Atlanta Falcons, which it's 12:55, 12:56.
No worries, man.
Right, no worries.
Let's remember our pop-up, and we can always do that. Listen, we can always do that.
A buddy called me and he said, "Hey, man, I did the math. And during the ownership period of Off the Blank and the Falcons, he fires the coach and hires the coach every 2.4 to 3 years." Joe, can I ask you where the consistency is with that? Because you do understand that when you hire or fire a coach, or when you hire or fire a GM, that there's a trickle-down effect in the organization where that coach or that new GM deserves to have his people in place underneath him for his organization to be ran and operated like he wants it to. So when you fire the GM or the head coach of any organization, coaches, coordinators, office managers, trainers, team doctors, that brings change within the entire organization. Mm-hmm. I'm of the belief in what I've learned through sports, and I'm going to explain to you why, using myself as an example. I'm of the belief that when you've got the same figurehead in place for a decade or two, you've got less change in an organization. In my humble opinion, the reason why the Steelers and the Ravens have won at the clip that they've won at, which is an extremely high amount, is because there's been no change from the top on down. Mm-hmm. Mike Tomlin, 20 years. Next year will be 20 or 21 years he's completed as head coach. And no, man, I don't think you can win a Super Bowl 2 or 3 years every 5 years. I think that's impossible because everybody that you're competing against are pros also. Everybody you're competing against are spending money also. But when you switch that head coach out every 3 to 5 years, you're not making your organization stable. As a matter of fact, you're making them unstable because the trickle-down effect is too much. It's too vast. It's too much. But the Ravens and the Steelers, 20-year organization being led by Tomlin, 18-year organization being led by John Harbaugh, there's consistency there. And if you win consistently and get to the postseason consistently, from time to time, you will be afforded the opportunity to win. It's no guarantees, but consistency helps with making it better. I'm almost done.
No, a couple of things. Okay. You almost done. Go ahead.
One more thing about the consistency.
Yes. Because
in South Carolina, when I graduated, I was the number 3 player in the state. In South Carolina, when I graduated, I was the number 5 safety in the country. In South Carolina, I had one head coach every year that I started. I had one defensive coordinator every year that I started. I had one DB coach every year that I started. I get to Georgia Tech, Joe. Over my 5-year time at Georgia Tech, I experienced 3 different head coaches, 3 different defensive coordinators, 4 different DBs. Somehow, I still get drafted fairly high. I go to Detroit, where I experience 3 different head coaches, 3 different defensive coordinators, and 3 different DB coaches. Where's the consistency for me as a player to reach my optimal performance level on that football field? Not questioning the call, not wondering what am I supposed to do, not think about something new. Where is the consistency for me as a player to be the best that I can be? There is no consistency.
None, Stu. But you mentioned earlier, coach and or GM. Mm-hmm. It can't be done that way anymore. That's not the recipe. I don't like the Cleveland Browns. So for instance, Cleveland Browns, they're off limits to any head coach that want to aspire to be successful. Why? Because you kept your GM. Anytime you kept your GM, you out of it. You said consistency, and what you're alluding to is chemistry, camaraderie. You can't have the head coach in place before I get there or the GM in place before I get there. Mm-hmm. That's not something that we can already have our hat to hang on. The Atlanta Falcons, in my opinion, is the number one job because of two reasons. Because of talent. Yeah, I know.
We may not get there.
That's on the list. Yeah. Yes. All of that.
Go ahead.
But my point is that the Atlanta Falcons are on the high list of John Harbaugh because he's going to be able to choose where he goes. Why? Because none of those things are in place. There's no head coach. There's no general manager. So there's no distractions. One pulling away from the other. And I would have a blueprint, Stu. The blueprint for everybody as far as head coaching. And those are some of the topics that I want to get with you real soon is that how do you choose? Harbaugh is going to show Joseph Fitzgerald Hamilton how do you choose to go to an organization? Because he's going to hunt. He's not the hunted. He's going to hunt. Where am I going next? And he's going to mark things off on his calling cards. I don't like this. I want this. This guy's in charge. This guy's in charge. And there's a GM already there. That's you're crazy. Harbaugh is going to probably want a little bit of input in the roster. I don't know him, but you're crazy. So, but my point is the blueprint is Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. I think, Ryan Stewart, that the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan has been the head coach for the 49ers for 9 years. And for those 9 years, it has been John Lynch. And when the first year, Kyle Shanahan, that was his first year coaching. He's never been a head coach. John Lynch came out of broadcasting to be the GM. And excuse me. And here we go 9 years later, what that has become. So I think John Harbaugh is going to want all that. All that's going to be a place, whether he has a friend already in mind. But when you get John Harbaugh hired, he's coming with his package already. He's interviewing you, my brothers.
I agree.
And again, I must reiterate, I disagree with the Baltimore Ravens and what they did. And this next hire is on deck. Ain't he on deck?
I disagree with them firing John Harbaugh also. Everybody that said that Mike Tomlin should be fired, I disagree with them wholeheartedly.
So even now, people are saying now he should be fired? Or you talk about?
Yeah, I'm talking about.
And I've heard some people say if he doesn't win, it still should be up in the air.
Right. Yeah. The Pittsburgh Steelers don't do that. They've had 3 coaches since 1969 or 1968 or whatever it is. They don't do that. So for those that are saying Mike Tomlin will be fired if he doesn't win this playoff game, no, I couldn't disagree more.
Right.
When you find a good man that you like and you believe in his football acumen, you trust him to do his job and you get out of the way. Yeah. Because when you start rolling the dice and shooting the dice, looking for your next winner, everything in your organization turns over and changes overnight, just like that, every time you hire somebody else. Consistency is the way to winning consistently in sports. That's just my humble opinion. I could be wrong because we've seen teams that fire a coach a la Tampa Bay Buccaneers and bring in John Gruden. They get a title shortly thereafter. But on the heels of that, what happens with Tony Dungy in Indianapolis? He too gets a title shortly thereafter. Consistency is the way to go in professional sports if you want to look for success, in my humble opinion.
You know what? And Stu, why? And I saw you look at the clock. It's an hour.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
it. Why? At the end of the day, this is what I would say the most discouraging thing to me, and why I'm hurt
Mm-hmm.
The breaking news should have been John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens parted ways. See, no, because that's coming to him. That's a respect factor. That's 18 years. That's what you've done. What you alluded to. That's a stand-up guy.
I can't argue with that.
That's who you. Who you and call him in and say if it's a difference of philosophies that because there's no benefit whether you fire him or say part ways. He's the free agent regardless. But to fire him like that, or to say the word firing as not giving him a choice under circumstances as Lamar wants this, Lamar wants that, you need to hire this or fire somebody, I don't like your defense, and give him the option, and all of a sudden in the news realm. I'm just talking out loud, Stu, not what I want. In the news realm, have it said to us that John Harbaugh and the Ravens parted ways. You fired this guy almost like so that just inside. It's not a huge thing, Stu, but it's just like, come on, man. Because again, it's almost like if we relate that or correlate that to Mike Tomlin, when it comes to an end with Pittsburgh, does it look right? He got fired or parted ways. So it's just me, man.
5 or 6 years ago, I read something, and I forgot where, why, or how. I read something where it was mentioning the owner, Steve Biscotti, saying on record he's excited about never having to hire another head coach ever again. His words, not mine. I am in a position, and I've got a staff and a man running my team that allows me to think I'll never have to go through the hiring process of another head coach for the Baltimore Ravens in my lifetime. His words, not mine. So to counter what you're saying about the message being told during breaking news, they agreed to part ways. What if that's not the true feelings? No. What if Harbaugh wanted to stay? What if Harbaugh didn't think he should have been fired?
Yes,
So if that's the case, then Harbaugh's not going to allow them to say we parted ways and we agreed it was time to do something different. No, I wanted my damn job with one of the best quarterbacks in the world.
Yes.
That's going to give me an opportunity to win my second Super Bowl. Y'all took this from me.
Yes.
Damn field goal kicker missed the field goal, which allowed me not to get to the postseason. Now y'all taking my job. I'm not allowing y'all to tell the world that we were on the same page and we parted ways in agreement. I'm not doing that. That's not what it was.
I haven't came to a conclusion about what I feel about this, talking to you even more clear, because you And again, what I love about it, Stu, and I don't know how you feel about it, that we don't hear anything from Lamar Jackson. And this is
the other with Joe Ham. I'm One Life 2 Ryan Stewart. Go ahead, Joe. I'm listening.
We don't hear anything from Lamar Jackson. Whether you love it or not, don't like it in media or gossip, you would want to say Lamar said this, Lamar said that. But he's not giving any nuggets, man.
Joe, that's the blessing of being that one player on each team. There's only one. There's only one Barry. There's only one Peyton Manning.
Yeah, but that doesn't always go true, because I'll give you an example of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, go ahead.
It's not only one voice coming out of that locker room.
Okay.
So go ahead. And that's an anomaly. I just brought that up, but you're right.
Typically, the complexion for the protection will be your safety. But if Lamar comes to you in confidence, you're one guy. If he comes to you in confidence and says, Harbaugh's got to go, him or me, y'all make the decision. Well, Lamar, we'll let you know right now, it's you. You're the decision. Okay, we'll shake him down. Hey, you can't put your one guy on blast for firing the coach. It don't work like that. Every conversation you have with that one guy, Derek Brooks, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Barry Sanders, Ben Roethlisberger, every conversation you have with that one guy stays in the room between you and that one guy, because he's your one guy.
Yeah.
You can't bury him with the bones. You can't throw him in the closet. You've got to protect that one guy. He has to stay squeaky clean. I often tell this story when talking about Michael Vick and the dog situation. Michael Vick's buddies got pulled over in one of his cars where they were in the wrong. And what did they do? Hey man, this is Mike Vick car. This is my car. I'm about to go back to the house right now. You can't put the money guy that's taking care of everything on blast. So when the cops do come to the house and they find the dog kennels back in the woods that's painted black so nobody can see them, Mike Vick can't go down because he's the money man. Who's going to take the fall?
Right.
One of y'all got to take the fall.
Yeah.
If I take the fall, I go down and everything that I've built or everything that I'm paying for goes down too. Who gonna take the fall? Hey, Mike, if you promise to take care of my family while I'm away, I'll take it, no problem. That's how it should be done. If Lamar went into the office and said he's got to go, the world can never find out that it was Lamar.
Well, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out. How? See, this will tickle your fancy.
I love it.
Because the new head coach and how Lamar a career progresses, that's my answer.
Right. Okay.
That's my answer. That's it. Because if you're going to run somebody out, Stu, again, if you're going to run somebody out, right, if you're going to ask that guy leaves, that we can't get it done, that we've maximized our efforts, right, I want to evaluate you from the next 4 years. And if it's the same or not above average, if you don't hold up the trophy, I have to some point in time say, hey, man,
I'll go a little deeper.
What was your role?
I'll go a little deeper. When Lamar goes into the office and says, Mr. Biscotti, Mr. DaCosta, Harbaugh's got to go, don't you think he's in on the meetings with the next person coming in? Don't you think he's got a thought process or a list of guys he would like to consider? Don't you think that Biscotti and DaCosta are consulting and talking with him? Is he going to make the hire? No, he's not going to make the hire. But is his voice going to be heard about who they hire? Yes. He's going to be in on the next hire.
You 52-year-old, can I give you some homework? I'm sorry.
Please.
It is not, it's optional. It's not mandatory.
Please.
When is the last time you've heard an owner or a GM say that they collectively are gathering input or the superstar player from an organization, from the four sports, whatever four sports you want to gather in free agents in a new hire, and somebody that's going to be there in the organization say, yeah, this guy we gathered, we wanted his input, and we took it into account. They don't say that. It doesn't happen. You might think that it happens, but it does not happen, Stuart.
Biscotti, being the billionaire that he is never going to let us know that he took under advisement.
Nobody has, though. Nobody has.
Hold on.
Whether wrong or right. Okay.
I just talked to you about Wayne Fontes pulling up Barry Sanders, getting his thoughts. I remember hearing Brett Favre communicating with, was it Ron Wolf at the time running the Packers, about things that needed to be done. I remember hearing Aaron Rodgers' name. I remember hearing Peyton Manning's name. Now, the owner that makes the decisions, the owner that spends the money, the owner that owns the franchise is never going to let the world know I consulted with somebody else to do something. However, if you've got that one guy that you want to keep around for the next decade who's won 2 MVPs, who better to consult with about who you're thinking about bringing in?
It's interesting.
Ain't you got to get his thoughts?
It's interesting you said that because Aaron Rodgers has never been consulted by the Green Bay Packers. Remember? So, and we always talk about these quarterbacks that when their heir apparent get drafted, will you tutor them? Matt Ryan about the Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins about the Michael Penix Jr. I mean, some of these guys, and Stu, again, unprecedented. Today is different.
Kurt is different because Kurt was not a part of the franchise. He was new also. He was new also. Yeah.
I was trying to win.
I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm hearing what you're selling. In the Huddle with Joe Ham, I'm your boy, Stu Ryan Stewart. Joe, we did that for an hour.
Yeah.
We can't go anywhere in the huddle with Johan without talking about some college football. We can't go anywhere without talking about a few of things that's on our topics. Where do you want to go from here, Joe? What would you like to address? We can make time for one or two topics that must be talked about. And the situation with Baltimore isn't over either, but we just got to move on.
Okay. I would like to talk about throwing my hand up and how grateful and thankful that I was wrong about college football.
Okay, let's start right there. Okay, I'll remind the listeners.
You said stop or go.
Let's start. Let's start right there. I'll remind the listeners that in one of our last shows we talked about the final 12 teams and who would ultimately be holding up the trophy. Somebody on this platform said the only few blue bloods that are there are going to ultimately get it done. Somebody else said there's too much parity. The NIL and the transfer portal will not allow one of the national blue bloods to get it done. Joe, do you care to say who's right or wrong with that topic?
Yes, I do, because I'm Stu. Not only did you stand with like this, like a gorilla,
like Tomlin did.
Yeah.
I'm going to the playoff, you punks. I'm going to the playoffs, you punks. I know y'all said we weren't going to do it, but not only did we win the division, we're going to the playoffs.
And he said, done it again. Doubt me again. That's what he said.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Stu, the bottom line is that it is a difference.
Yeah.
And no doubt about it that the level of playing in the playing field is even with NIL and the blue bloods. It's just blue bloods on the helmets.
Yep.
And what it forced me, because I'm going to be the stand-up guy. Stu, you told me I was crazy because I did say there's going to, and my competitiveness is going to be that I'm going to still hold on to a blue blood being in Miami.
Right.
Why?
Well, I agree with you 100%.
But that's just holding on.
No, but I do see and view Miami as a blue blood.
Oh, they are a blue blood, no doubt.
When I think about great college football moments, one of my favorite great college football moments is the Miami Hurricanes and Brown getting off the plane wearing all fatigues, and it was the convicts versus the Catholics when they played Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. That's why I see Miami as a blue blood. But just let me say this. For over a decade or more, the national title picture has been dominated by small groups of programs like Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, and a few others. But now, the final four teams that we're looking at in the college football playoff era is Miami, Oregon, Indiana, and Ole Miss. Ole Miss, Indiana? Or are you kidding me?
No.
Indiana is the favorite and the number one team in the country. Are you kidding me?
What's happening, Stu?
Thanks to the NIL, thanks to the transfer portal, guys ain't got to go one place to get the bag no more. Ed Ogeron said it best. I forgot whose podcast he was on and when he said it, but he was like, hey, back in the day, we had to walk through the back. We had to walk back in the day. We had to walk through the back door with the money and nobody could see us. But today, they can walk through the front door and everybody sees because everybody's doing it. Sir, those schools that I named, Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, and Ohio State, there's no doubt in my mind that 2 decades ago they were paying players.
Right.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Very good.
But you know who had offers to get paid and didn't take them? Me. There were schools that offered to pay. There were schools that was giving me $100 handshakes. There were schools that wanted me to come to kids. Right. But where did I go? I went to Georgia Tech. There was no mention of money with me coming to Georgia Tech. None. Tech didn't do that back then. I'm not saying that Tech never paid anybody, but a player that was getting recruited to and being offered to be paid in myself did not receive that offer from Georgia Tech. Why did I go there? I love this city. Why did I go there? Because the education was the foundation for my thought and my process. Why did I go there? It wasn't a football or bust situation for me. It was an education, then football or bust. So yeah, now it's a different day and time. So when y'all say there's no parity, man, y'all are crazy. Everybody's paying to a certain extent. Everybody can afford great athletes now. And that wasn't the way it was 3 decades and 2 decades ago.
When y'all said, Stu, and I'm one of the guys that you said y'all said, that was me. I'm changing. Hey, please. Hey, dude. Hey, Mr. Evan. Come on, man. Listen. Hey, listen.
Listening.
Totally wrong. And I'm on board.
It levels
the
playing field, Joe. It levels the playing field, Joe.
No doubt about it, Stu. And I want to present something to you now that I'm ecstatic about. It goes back to my friend coaching. So now coaching is the leveling playing field because of what you just said, that you can go to NIL, you can pay and you can get 3 to 4 stars and you can get the guys. What are you going to do? I remember Nick Saban said that it's not it's not what you pay. Do you pay the right players? Your evaluation now when you talk about so when you talk about the Valentine area, when you talk about the mindset,
the Valentine area,
when you talk about the love of the game and the work ethic, all that, and you're gonna pay that guy $2 million, $100,000. So now you gotta have to build your roster. And Signelli is building a roster. And some of these guys, Pete Golden from Ole Miss, these guys are saying now, okay, X's and O's. Stu, so while you're right, and there's no but, if, ands, yes, I was wrong.
Yep.
It's totally taken over, but it gave me a new mindset that coaching, man, can you coach them up? Because we don't have to talk about it, but I'll bring it up. Ole Miss and Pete Golden caused Kirby Smart to be out of character. I said, Stu, we don't have much time. I know we can go.
Not just Kirby, but Kirby Smart was one. He was a victim to it. And Caleb DeBoer was a victim to it as well. Go ahead, I'm listening, Joe.
Not Caleb DeBoer as far as in game. But what I'm talking about,
it was in game for Caleb too. Go ahead.
Okay. So Kirby Smart is an excellent coach. Georgia Bulldogs through and through. So let that aside. Excellent Hall of Famer for what he's accomplished. Ole Miss forced him with the offensive philosophy, the coaching, the dynamics, the spread you, the RPOs, and just the what we're gonna do. That Kirby Smart had to, and rightfully so, go for it on fourth. Excellent play call on fourth. When he was up, Stewart, when he was up 21-19, he said, momentum is changing. I can't put this ball away. So all of a sudden, I got a fake. Successful, well executed. And then the next fourth down, this guy, Kirby Smart, now he's down 3 now, but he decides that I got to go for it on my minus 28, 30.
So you need.
And why?
If you don't get it, the opposing team needs 2 first downs before they're in a scoring position. You can't do it, Kirby.
And they took 2 plays to score a touchdown.
That's right.
Go ahead. Go. Yeah. So I wanted to say. So my point is, before you say what you're going to say, Stu, is that it's transformed that the Jimmys and Joes in college and in this playoff in the NIL era. Can you coach them up? Yep. How good are you, coach?
Yep. Sir, NIL plus the transfer portal has equaled the talent distribution in college football. The true blue bloods, the Michigans, the Notre Dames, the Florida States, and a handful of others, the Texases, a handful of others, they'll probably ultimately have more depth than the Ole Misses or the Indianas. But even to date, that's not really true anymore. Elite players are no longer forced to sit behind a 5-star player on the depth chart. Programs with strong development and cultures can now retain and attract new talent. Roster depth, not just recruit rankings, it's becoming the separator now. Indiana's O-line, and we've talked about this for weeks prior to the end of the season, Indiana's O-line and D-line somehow is much better than everybody else's, and they're running players on and off and not missing a beat when a second or third teamer comes in. Everybody's big. Everybody's strong.
Yeah.
And
don't do somehow, Stu.
Everybody's being paid.
No, don't. Yeah, it's not paid though. It's not paid. Again, Stu, it is being paid, but not what you're thinking about busting the roof being paid.
Okay.
They're getting paid, they're getting something in their pockets, but it's not about that because, again, these are still 3 stars and 3.5 stars that he's doing it with.
I'm not saying everybody's making $1 million, but everybody's getting something.
Thank you. Yes.
The good players are getting something. And if there's a good player that's on, they say James Madison got railroaded after they lost in the college football playoffs. They said their entire team jumped in the portal and their entire team's being taken. The James Madison players that are transferring are not going someplace to make millions of dollars, but they're going someplace to make more than they were getting at James Madison.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah. Yes. And yeah, look at your face, boy. This has been. Hey, listen, you've sustained me on a Wednesday like nobody's business. Let me tell you a Debbie Downer for me, what I don't like, what just came across.
Okay.
Brett McMurphy.
Okay.
Ole Miss coach Pete Golden said that Rebels will be without wide receiver coach George McDonald and tight end coach Joe Cox for tomorrow's Fiesta Bowl versus Miami.
Hurts my freaking heart. Hurts my freaking heart. How can you do that, coach?
How can you do that, coach? Man, and why would you do that, coach? And where's your coaching love? And while I'm saying that,
too much. It's too much to talk about. It's too much to talk about, Joe.
And while you're doing that, shout out to Charlie Weiss Jr., who's going to stay true to it. How can you all of a sudden, Stu, say that? Okay, go ahead, bro.
I write it down. Go ahead.
How could you possibly say, as a wide receiver coach and a tight ends coach, that these guys you recruited and been in the foxhole and led and bled with, you can't finish it off? And who's it to say that you can't talk to your boss that's going to be your former boss to say, do you understand the circumstances that I'm going through?
Right.
Can you make a way? Can it possibly be that? Because Stu, I would say this. I would not be surprised, and you and I are going to talk before it's all over as far as the coaching carousel. I wouldn't be surprised if Charlie Weiss Jr. stays on at Ole Miss if they wins the championship. What's the offer on the other side? I don't want to deter you because we got a lot to talk about.
Right.
These guys are missing out on an opportunity to life-changing coach, tight end, and wide receivers coach. I thought before it was a strength and conditioning or maybe somebody in recruiting, but these are position coaches. You're not coaching.
Right. So listen to this.
It's off, Stu, dog. Help me, man. Help me.
So listen to this. It's In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm One Live, Stu Ryan Stewart. Funny you mentioned Charlie Weiss Jr. because, yes, he is going to Louisiana with Lane Kiffin, correct?
Correct.
But he's just asked to stay and to be along on this journey with Ole Miss, and he's been afforded that opportunity. But guess what?
What's that?
This week, he's still been on the recruiting trail for LSU.
But that's his job. I don't have the problem with that.
That means he's not all in. That means he's not all in with Ole Miss.
Well, your rubber is going to have to meet the road, Stu. What you want him completely gone or in house? So I mean, he's going to have to do 2 jobs, Stu. You can't do that. I can't let you get away with it. I'm
Joe,
with you.
So Joe, if you're doing 2 jobs, who's getting the 80%? Is the 80% going to LSU, your future job where you're going to be for the foreseeable future, or is the 80% going to Ole Miss? But I do know this. I do know this. There's 100% that cannot be split up evenly or fairly for Ole Miss or LSU. It don't work like that.
No,
you're either all in or you're not in at all. So yes, Charlie Weis Jr. has been afforded the opportunity to be at Ole Miss and to coach at Ole Miss. However, this week he's been recruiting and speaking on the behalf of the LSU Tigers.
That is why, boy, this is outstanding. Hey, listen, that is why, Mr. Evan, you must check the pudding. And that's where the proof is in. Right? You got to check the pudding. And here's the pudding. And here's the pudding. What?
Please tell the people what the pudding is, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, the proof is in the pudding. You got to check the pudding. If you want the proof is in the pudding. Okay. And what I say to you, Stu, is that Charlie Weis Jr. has done this before. That's all.
Okay.
So he had experience last week. So he was double dutying. If you heard all the reports, hold on, Stu. If you heard all the reports, is that he flew, he was in and out, virtual on the plane, getting updates with the current coaches, having the game plan. It's not in an ideal situation, Stu. I know that.
I don't want to do oranges and apples with you. I do oranges and apples.
But he just did it. He just won a game against the Georgia Bulldogs, battling 2 jobs.
I do apples and oranges with Doug all the time. I don't want to do that with you. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Okay? You and I are both devoted to our wives. Ain't no stepping out, ain't no dating, ain't no dinners for nobody else. When it comes to women in our life, there's one. Okay? However, if for some reason you have a buddy that has a wife and a girlfriend, can the wife and his house get 100% of him? No. If he's with the other lady, he's not all in over here. So I hear you, and Charlie Weis has done a good job juggling both jobs, being in 2 places at one time, but he's not 100% in with Ole Miss or 100% in with LSU. If he's got to do both jobs.
That's right.
So his team.
And the other 2 guys gone.
His team that is playing in the semifinals of the college football playoff series right now, his team has been without him to a certain extent throughout the course of the last week because he's been doing something else that he has to do for his next job that we know he has. So now, my question to you is when there's a missed check on Thursday night, or when there's a drop ball on Thursday night, or when there's a miscommunication on Thursday night, is that where I can say, if Charlie Weis was there all week, last week, that wouldn't have happened?
No.
How? Why not?
Stu?
Why not?
Because they did not have a bye, Stu. That's why. Because they played last week. They played under those same circumstances last week, and it went fluid. And not only did it go fluid, it went fluid against one of the best defenses that you would ever see. And I'm going to tell you this.
I agree.
If Charlie Weis Jr. or Trinidad Chambers wanted to put anything on their resume as far as look what I've done, they should show that exhibition that they gave against the Georgia Bulldogs and Coach Kirby Smart. So I'm saying that to you that he was not distracted, and that showed me
it's impossible.
It's different. It is possible that he gets distracted.
It's impossible.
But he was successful with it. You're right, Stu.
It's impossible, right?
And that's why I brought that stuff to you. I'm so disappointed, and now, to your point, the wide receiver coach and the tight end coach said, I can't do it. I'm out.
Yeah. I'm out. Hey, guys, I'm sorry, but I've got a job I got to do over here. I'm not spending no time with you.
You want me to bring in You want me to bring in this top 5 recruit? You want me to be on the recruiting trail? You want me to get this guy, and you want me to be part half in and half out? Stu, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Okay. In the huddle with your boy Joe Ham, I'm one like 2 Ryan Stewart. Let's touch on a couple of things before we get out of here.
Did the chat leave us? Did the chat leave us?
Joe, the chat is jumping. And Millhouse said, watch this. Stu on fire today with his persuasive arguments. Let's see. Go strategies. Remember, Saban fired Kiffin the week of the national championship game in 2016 because he wasn't all in. Thank you. That's why I need to get in the chat more often. That's exactly right. Saban told Lane, hey, man, thank you for all you've done, but you got to go. You're not all in right now, and that's what we need for this title. So Charlie Weiss can't have it both ways. He just can't.
It's just a circumstance, too. It's nothing anybody chose. Nobody chose this. Nobody chose this, man.
No. If you chose to go to LSU, you did choose this.
Yeah, but I can't. It goes back to I don't want to be ran off from Ole Miss. I want to finish the job. Stu, it goes back to finish what you started.
Right. Yeah, but
is that true or not?
Right. Doug and I often debate. In my man room, I got a big screen TV in the middle, 2 little screen TVs on the side. The middle is 100, and on the left is 250 inches. Okay? I often tell Doug I'm watching all the games. I got 1 game on this screen. I got 1 game on that screen. I got 1 game on this screen. And Doug says, you can't watch them all. You're wasting your time, Ryan. You can't watch them all. Oh, yes, I can. All 3 of them are on the wall. But both of your eyes will only stay on one at a time. It's the same thing with Charlie Weiss Jr., Joe. It's the same thing with Lane Kiffin, which is why Nick Saban told him to get the hell on. Hey, man, I need you all in or all out, but you can't do both. It's impossible to do both.
Still, what you don't realize is your communication, South Carolina brother and your partner. You don't realize that, I mean, I love this thing as much as you. As far as you bringing that up in Lane Kiffin, right. I'm going to bring right back that same head coach that allowed Kirby Smart to stay on staff.
Right.
See?
Right.
So it's all about how you handle it. So Kirby Smart, or when he was at Georgia, they went on a national championship run, and Coach Nick Saban and maybe Kirby Smart learned from how Lane Kiffin handled it. Mm-hmm. He was able to juggle back and forth. And not only that, Kirby Smart took Dan Lanning, he took Mel Tucker, and he took Glenn Schumann. So he took some staff with him eventually, but it was a communication. So it can be done. Right. Just to rebuttal, not against you, just to talk.
Okay.
It's difficult, man. It's difficult. And that's why I said shout out to Charlie Weiss Jr.
Can your team win despite you being in 2 places at one time? Yes. But if you're in 2 places at one time, both of those places ain't getting 100%.
They're lacking.
It's impossible.
Do you have any soldiers that can pick you up? And Ole Miss's situation is perfect because the head coach was a defensive coordinator. And now you still can tune yourself with the offensive coordinator intact for the time being, which is Charlie Weiss Jr. and Joe Judge. You remember the name Joe Judge?
I do remember the name Joe Judge.
Joe Judge is the former head coach of the New York Giants. So he's been in that role. He's been in the NFL. So the offense is somewhat structure-wise can be left to those guys that you're not out of the loop. You're not totally lost. Right. So it's uphill. I agree, but it can be done.
Thank you for mentioning in the chat, Joe. Lizzie Banks, who prior to this message had a message that said, "Hi, Joe." So I feel as though
Lizzie Banks?
Okay, there you go. Lizzie Banks says, Kirby left Alabama after the 2015 Natty was completed. Kiffin got fired in 2016, the week of the Natty, because he didn't learn how to properly depart from the program, and he still hasn't learned. So before we move forward, I just want to say, is it possible that Ole Miss can win despite Charlie Weiss Jr. being in 2 places at one time? Definitely is possible. But if Ole Miss would have came up short this last week, who are we going to point a finger at saying this is part of the reason why they came up short? At the coach that was trying to juggle too many balls with too many teams.
Hey now. Yes.
Hey now.
Hey, you're absolutely right, Stu. You're absolutely right. Again, that's subjective because if Ole Miss scores 35 points and lose, he's excused.
Okay, that's valid too. That's valid too. But if they score 35 and needed 38, he's not excused.
No,
he's not. If they needed 42, he's not excused. So in essence, you're saying if they win, we'll find a way to say it was okay. But if they lose, we will not be able to find a way to say it's okay because he was recruiting on the behalf of LSU for the last 2 weeks.
I'll say this. Last week says to me that Ole Miss has no excuses. And I know that's unfair, Stu. I know that's unfair. But you got it done last week against the Georgia Bulldogs with all the distractions and all the Lane Kiffin talk about head coach. Do you miss him? Who's going to call the plays? And Pete Golden only calling his second game. Now, this semifinal will be his third game called, period. So all that being said, yes. So that's why there's no excuses because you got it done. That's all.
Yeah. In the other with your boy Joe Ham, we are about to get out of here.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. But before we get out of here, Trinidad Chambliss, D2 quarterback that won 2 D2 titles before coming to the big league, playing D1 ball for Ole Miss, and finding a way to be one of the Final Four teams in the college football playoffs. Give me your thoughts and a hot take on Trinidad Chambliss before we move on.
Step aside your prototypical, what you said before the season, the experts, the analysts, get out of here. Let's watch football. I respect your opinion, but let's watch football. Arch Manning, Nussmeiser at LSU. Sellers at South Carolina. Call them out. But here a guy comes in, 5'11", 190, Ferris College, junior college, a winner, and he shows and tell with Nick Saban. With Lane Kiffin, without Lane Kiffin. He did it against the best defense and the guy that can make and Kirby Smart in-game adjustments. Let's rearrange this board. And this is another hot take. Miss me, Stuart, with Fernando Mendoza as being a number 1 overall pick.
Stop right there. Before we go to that, Miami, Oregon, Indiana, Ole Miss. Who wins it all as of today? Because the team you thought that was going to win it all is still present.
Can I get a benevolent real shout out right quick?
Okay, please.
Shout out to Carson Beck. Shout out to Trinidad. Shout out to Trinidad Chambliss.
Moore in Oregon.
No, not Dante Moore.
Okay,
shout out to Trinidad Chambliss and shout out to Fernando Mendoza. And why they all transfers along with Dante Moore, but they're 1-year transfers. Those guys have been on campus since fall. To be a quarterback and to come and galvanize the locker room, to be able to learn the offense, to be able to tell and direct and be a leader and demand what all the quarterbacks are demanded to do, communicate. Those guys that weren't in the program, they weren't redshirted. They didn't sit. Now, Chambliss Dante Moore, he had 1 year and then he sat one redshirt year at Oregon, so he'd been there 1 year. So
but he was still a transfer. Yes.
But these transfers that came and learned it 1 year and now they're at the semifinal, man, go ahead and do your thing. That's not easy. That is not easy because you're not a DB or wide receiver that said, hey, let me be on my own.
You get the ball every snap on offense.
In the locker room, you need it. You need it. You must own it. You must own it. So shout out to all that.
Okay. Who you like, Joe? Miami, Oregon, Indiana, Ole Miss. Not who you like to win this weekend. Who you like to win it all?
I love Miami to win it all. No doubt about it. And the reason why I like Miami to win it all is because Mario Cristobal has built this thing in the trenches. He's a former offensive line coach. There's a national champion with the SAP and the Rock and those boys. Offensive and defensive line, they maul you. but it's going to be a barn burner. I think 21-17 Miami over Indiana, because to beat Indiana, you're going to have to be ready to get bloodied. So I'm going to take you real step by step the way you want it. Miami over Ole Miss, just because Ole Miss can't stand 4 quarters of mauling. They explosive. They can keep it on the field. But what I would do, and I think Mario Cristobal would do, is play keep away. I'm going to have the ball 35 minutes. You're going to have it 25. You can't score 30. That's how I'm going to win it. So I have Miami coming out with that, and Carson Beck being the Carson Beck that's 30-5. The Carson Beck that's only lost 5 games in a lot of games played. Go ahead, brother. I know I'm long-winded. Go ahead.
I need to cut you off briefly because you're taking Miami over Ole Miss, right?
Yes, sir.
Which Beck are you going to get? Is it going to be good Carson Beck? Is it going to be bad Carson Beck? You know good and damn well that the Carson Beck comes and goes.
No, I don't know good and damn well, because you can only talk about 2 occasions where Carson Beck came and hurt us. Well, I'm saying us. When I say us, I'm talking ACC. I'm talking ACC. So he had 6 interceptions in his 2 losses. Other than that, he's been playing spectacular. In the last 6 weeks, he's not turning the ball over except one time with a fumble that, somebody script sack. So he's been safe. And he's had the recipe that Troy Aikman, I have a massive offensive line and a running game. Let's live behind that. So that's why
he's probably got more speed on his squad than the remaining 3 teams. They've got speed outside and inside when it comes to Miami. No question.
And I bring you in remembrance that this team eventually made it up to number 2 in the nation. That you and I had on in the huddle with Joe Ham. That who's the better team, Ohio State or Miami? You remember that?
Yeah,
same team talent wise. So now you maturation. So Miami beating Ole Miss, in Indiana, they're just going to bruise Oregon. They're going to bruise them. Indiana's going to bruise Oregon, man.
Joe. I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. I am a prisoner of the moment. I am a Las Vegas Raiders fan. We have the number 1 pick. This is In the Huddle with your boy Joe Ham. I'm One Life Stu Ryan Stewart. With that number 1 pick, who are you taking? Dante Moore, Trinidad Chambliss, or Mendoza?
Sorry, Stu. You can have it. I'm talking to Tom Brady, and I'm going after Shedeur Sanders. I'm trading away the number 1 overall pick. You can have it. Whoever wants it. Whoever thinks that Fernando Mendoza or Trinidad Chambliss or who else you said? Who else you said, Stu?
Mendoza, Dante Moore, or Trinidad Chambliss.
Y'all can fight over it. I want your capital. If you see somebody that you want at the number 1 that you want to lobby for, come get them. But I want Shedeur Sanders, and I'm going to trade if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, that's what I'm doing.
I didn't see that coming.
What do you mean?
I didn't see that coming.
Oh, you didn't? You say you need me to answer the question.
You answered the question. I'm not opposed.
Out of those 3, I can answer out of those 3.
No. That's your answer was great. I just didn't see that coming. So you're willing to take Shedeur Sanders more than the top quarterbacks that's coming out this year?
Before you can blink your eye, I'm willing to do that. Yeah, and I'm talking Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah,
Chambliss, not even Chambliss. He's not even coming out.
He's not even coming out.
Dante Moore.
You're right.
Yeah, Carson Beck can't do anything for me. And because, again, I like Fernando Mendoza. Interview, smart. I love him. He's going to be a future head coach. He's not the prototypical today's NFL quarterback. I don't want him. I want him on my roster, but not as a top 15 pick. No. And Dante Moore, he has a lot to prove to me. Texas Tech set me back in that performance as far as the blitz and what Indiana did to him early in the season. Boy, so I can't wait to see Dante Moore perform. But I want Shedeur Sanders, yes.
Shouts out to Millhouse. Carson Beck will pee his pants.
He hadn't, though.
They have to coach around him, run the ball with quick passes. Don't give him a chance to think or determine the outcome of the game. I agree with Milhouse 100%.
Okay, yeah. He's going to have to make some plays, though. He can't hide them totally.
Last but not least, this is In the Huddle with your boy, Joe Ham. I'm one last dude, Ryan Stewart. Thank y'all for being here. You took me back with that answer. I was prepared and had a rebuttal for every single quarterback that I mentioned, but I was not prepared and ready for the Shedeur Sanders take. And why wouldn't Cleveland do that if they're getting 1 or 2 first rounders for it? Why wouldn't the Cleveland Browns do it if that's going to, in return, give them a quarterback that they would want, because the owner has said, I didn't want him. So yeah, that's a brilliant take. I like that a lot. We got to dig deeper into that.
And isn't Tom Brady and Shedeur Sanders like this?
Well, so they say, but I haven't seen.
So they say. I agree with you, Stu.
Okay. NFL wildcard weekend is set. Both conferences are wide open. Let's pick this weekend's game. Los Angeles versus Carolina. Joe, who you like?
Los Angeles.
I agree 100%. I like McVay. I like the quarterback in Los Angeles. Next game, we're going to go to Green Bay and Chicago. Who you like?
Oh my God, this was all about, man.
Game is in Chicago.
Yeah, weather doesn't matter. That's Green Bay, so they know about the weather. Fresh year Ben Johnson. Fresh year Caleb Williams. I don't trust Green Bay Packers.
I think Green Bay's dealing with more injuries than they want to talk about, I think Chicago's going to find a way to get it done at home. I think Chicago's running game is much better than Green Bay's, even though I like Green Bay's running back. I think Chicago finds a way to get that game. We'll go to the next one. Buffalo at Jacksonville. Joe, who you like?
Trevor Lawrence.
Me too. I'm so happy you said that.
It's hard.
I'm so happy you said that. This one, I pulled my hair out with this one. How dare you go against that? How dare you?
Dude, yes.
How dare you go against Josh Allen now that Lamar's out of the way? Yes. Everybody's out of his way that's been in his way. I think Josh Allen is dealing with a foot injury. I, too, love what Trevor Lawrence is doing in Duval. I say Jacksonville also.
I can't believe I'm doing it, but yes. Yeah. Because Josh Allen is a one-man gang. That one-man gang is not going to happen in the playoffs like that. And Jacksonville got a pretty good defense, man.
Etne versus Cook. Who you want? ETN or Cook?
I want Cook, but as far as the offense, what Jacksonville does,
I agree.
I got to go with,
I agree. All right, next game. San Francisco at Philadelphia. Eagles.
Depleted.
Depleted. Games at 4:30. Who you like, Joe?
And that's Saturday, right?
This game is Fox. I believe this is a Saturday game. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's a Sunday game. This is a Sunday game.
My bad. Depleted. Kyle Shanahan could be or should be in the consideration with coach of the year.
I agree.
No doubt about it.
You like Philly too.
I like Philly, but I said Kyle Shanahan should be for the 49ers.
Right.
He should be the coach of the year for the injuries they've dealt with, but I can't go that far and say they're going to beat Philly. Right. I mean, the buck stops here. What he's done,
hurt. It's marvelous. It's miraculous. Yes. But this time of year, you can't be missing those key core pieces. You got to have everybody.
It can't be done. And you can't score in the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, that defense is stout. I got to go with the Eagles, man.
Houston Texans at Pittsburgh. Other than it being in Pittsburgh, that's the only thing I like for them. I'm saying Houston. Who you like, Joe?
I'm saying Houston. All right, you want to tell me about the Pittsburgh Steelers with DK Metcalf? I'll introduce you to Derek Stingley Jr.
Jr., yes.
One of the best cornerbacks. If you want to say Aaron Rodgers, I would tell you about the two beacons, Daniil Hunter and the boy out of Alabama. His name's always, I miss his name. When you get at Aaron Rodgers' foot or his feet, it's problems. So, yeah, I got the Houston Texans going on the road, and they're going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be tough. And I'll hand you a nugget. DeMeco Ryans and C.J. Stroud, for 3 years, they have not missed the playoffs. So they're playoff ready. So don't fake the fuss. You can tell C.J. Stroud fell off.
What are they on, an 8-game, 9-game win streak?
Yes.
Texans?
Yes, they took over.
All right. So we both said Jacksonville.
Yes.
Here's what we didn't do. We didn't do Los Angeles.
We both said
Chargers. No, we didn't do Chargers versus New England.
Yeah, that's huge. I'm definitely going Vrabel and May.
Me too. Oh, this is great. This is great. I'm going to go double down on all my bets. You just back me up on everything I've been thinking about when it comes to making wages for this postseason weekend.
Yeah. Because again, it goes with Los Angeles Chargers. You don't have your bookends, bookend tackles, and I know you didn't have them the entire season, but it's magnified in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, here's where you
magnified.
Here's where you need them the most.
Hold on, you didn't tell me who you thought with the Texans and the Steelers.
Oh, Texans all day.
Okay,
Texans all day. I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers limped into the postseason, and if it wasn't for a fluke field goal kick, which I still believe that Guido has something to do with it. Guido is my mythological gambling guy that controls football through the NFL. Yeah, I think Guido missed that extra point that cost me some money at the end of the game, and I think Guido missed that field goal kick that cost Baltimore's coach job and cost Baltimore a chance to get into the postseason. I think that was all gambling.
So all of it. So no upsets, right?
No. I don't see any upsets.
It would be an upset that Texans go in there and beat Steelers on the road, but that's not really an upset.
I think the Texans should be favored in that game. I forgot exactly how it looks, but I think the Texans should be favored in that game. But yeah, I like Jacksonville versus Buffalo. I like New England versus the Chargers. I like Houston versus Pittsburgh. I love Los Angeles versus Carolina. I'm not too high on that 10.5 number, but I like it. I like Chicago, who's getting points.
Oh, that's what we disagree, though. That's what we disagree.
Yeah, you like Green Bay.
Yes.
I like Chicago, and last but not least, we both like Philadelphia.
How do you feel, real quick, Stu? How do you feel about 8-9 winning the division and hosting the playoff game? I don't think I've ever gotten your thoughts on that. It's pretty status quo, but
if you win
If
you win your division, you can't sit them down.
Yeah.
If you've won the division, I don't care what your overall record is. You can't sit them down and say somebody else is more worthy. I just won my division.
Yeah, we had to play the same schedule.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't like it. It looks ugly, and it's probably a black eye in the National Football League. But there's no way around the winner of the division playing in postseason play. What do you do?
No, nothing.
Hey.
Yeah.
I got to go sit in the back of the car. I got to go sit in the back of a car while Miles takes his driving test. I got to go sit in the back of the car. I can't tell you how phenomenal today's show was. Thank you very much. And I'm proud of me and you both because over this break, I picked my phone up 15 to 20 times to call you. And instead of calling you, I put the phone down and I just wrote a note in my notepad to remember this. All the notes that I took, sir, I didn't get to all of them. I see you. It said,
can I ask Stu this? Should I ask Stu? And most of the time it goes elsewhere to somebody else.
Right.
I still need your thought on it because again, I can't. It's hard for me to get off my chest, man. And last night was so hard, and I'm like, my goodness, man, what's happening? Because I'm on the fence. For the first time, I was on the fence, man.
Parity in coaching. We didn't get to the change in the transfer portal situation. We didn't get to George Godsey being back on the flats. Let's
Trey Young out of here.
Let's end with that. Faulkner left, took Philo, backup quarterback. They're now in Florida. But we've signed George Godsey to come back from Baltimore and be our offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. How great of a move is that by Brent Key?
I'll bring you in remembrance of what you said about 2.5 weeks ago, and you said that you trust Brent Key to make the decisions, the right decision. That he's always made the right decisions, and this is another right decision. Whether Goose is ready to rumble because we have already texted. He said we should meet up soon, and I want to know, Stu, about his creativity. I want to know what he can do offensively as far as faking a funk on a nasty dunk, making it look like some way and being the other. But I'm excited. That's my teammate. That's my backup. He helped me on a lot of tests as far as the night before.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I am extremely happy because when it comes to Goose being back, thanks to the transfer portal, which is so very important in college football now, as a former pro coach that has had success at the National Football League's level, when he gets on Georgia Tech's campus and we've got big-time recruits that want to play professional football, they can take solace in knowing that he knows what he's talking about and he's going to help them mature to get the opportunity to play at that next level. That's something that means a lot when it comes to recruiting into the transfer portal. That will make the difference in a player taking a little less money to come here versus going someplace else. I think it's a huge coup for us Yellow Jacket fans to have George Gossett coming back to be the coordinator for this team.
Golly, you said a huge Q. My, that's an added on. That's an added, a huge Q. And I would say this to you too, Stu, that it means so much with the staff as far as identifying talent.
Right.
So, like we said earlier, you can't miss.
Right.
When you pay money, you can't miss. So having an extra eye on a quarterback to say his footwork is off. This is off,
I don't like this. Say, I don't like that. He shouldn't be doing that. That's going to be too much for me to coach him out of it. That's going to take too long. Let's don't do that. But this player right here, he does this, and this. I know I can fix that. This is why we should offer him. How much does he want? Oh, we can afford that. Much more than we can. It's huge. It is so huge. Everybody's like, oh, we've lost so much. Transfer portal this, coach is leaving that. And I keep telling everybody on these text threads, hey, man, I've got no reason not to believe in Brent Key for what he's done to this point. Let's sit tight and see what Coach Key does. Let's just sit tight.
Hey, I tell you this, dude. Today, we not only scored, today, you not only scored today, every single touchdown that you made, you went for 2. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I feel good, man. I feel good.
Everybody in the chat, thank you all so very much. Julia says, I think Miami is beating Ole Miss tomorrow. Mocabella says, peace, everybody. Great show, Ryan and Joe. Mocabella. Millhouse said, cost me money. I figured that too, Millhouse. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Y'all get an A+. Thank y'all for your participation. You mean the world to us. And lastly, Joe, you get an A+ because you did an outstanding job today. We didn't get anywhere near all done that we wanted to, but it was a phenomenal freaking show. And I can't wait until next week to see what the table brings for us. I just can't wait. God is good, y'all, all the time, and all the time God is good. If you don't know him, you need to find him and show him love because that's all he's showing you. Nothing but love. To God be the glory. Don't forget about tomorrow morning. Two Live Stews Experience, 7 o'clock. Two Live Stews meeting before the experience at 6:30. Y'all join us. Y'all subscribe, y'all like, and y'all pass the word. Outstanding job today, Joe Ham. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
We'll see y'all next week.